Hello everyone, and welcome back to a special edition of On the Beat. I'm Stephen Bailey, joined by David Wilson and Trevor Haas. It's Selection Sunday, and Syracuse will play Western Michigan on Thursday in Buffalo on the round of 64. The Orange is the number 3 seed in the South region, about where we thought they would go. Some people were projecting them as potentially a number 4 seed after losing to NC State in the ACC tournament quarterfinals. What do you think of Syracuse's draw? Do you think it's about where they were supposed to go? And what do you think of I guess the region overall, looking past it?
Yeah, 3 makes sense. We see NC State ends up getting in the tournament, albeit in a play-in game.
I think they deserve it.
Yeah, I think so too. They look really good this week. TJ Warren looks like one of the best players in the country.
He is.
They get Western Michigan, a team that you would think they should beat. I think most of us don't know a whole lot about them, but we'll be looking into that over the next couple of days. That's a game that you would think they should win in Buffalo. Of course, there have been a lot of games lately that have looked like they should win, and then after that,
it's about as good as they could have hoped. Right?
Exactly, it's what you hope for. You get a friendly destination and a relatively easy first-round matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a pretty fair draw. It is the second toughest region: Florida, Kansas, and Syracuse, all there. A really difficult draw. I think if Syracuse can beat Western Michigan, they have a chance to beat Ohio State. I don't know if it will happen, but I think that's a really intriguing matchup, something fans would want to see after 2 years ago when Ironcraft became an enemy around these areas. So I think that would be really intriguing if it does happen.
Right, so if Syracuse does beat Western Michigan on Thursday, the time is to be announced. It should be out tomorrow. The Orange will play the winner of Ohio State-Dayton. What do you think of that matchup? Obviously, Ohio State's going to be favored, and we all remember what happened 2 years ago. I still think that's a pretty good draw for Syracuse. I don't think Ohio State's...
Yeah, I don't think they have been really kind of like Syracuse inconsistent this year.
Sure.
They've made a nice little run in the Big Ten tournament. They play really good defense. Not a whole lot of offense. Sounds a lot like Syracuse. It's probably a pretty good matchup for them, and I think there will be that sort of extra get back at them for what they did a couple of years ago.
So we think the South region is maybe pretty difficult, maybe the second most difficult after the Midwest. What do you think of the overall decisions by the committee? Do you think that the regions are balanced, you guys?
You always, it seems like, get a couple of regions that are better than the other. Wichita State got a really tough draw, considering they come in undefeated. Yeah, they're in the Midwest, and Kentucky is the 8 seed there. That'll be a tough matchup for them in the second round, potentially. But like you said, South's a tough region. There's a lot of good teams there. You didn't even talk about UCLA. Who just won the Pac-12 tournament. They're a good team, too. 4 teams in that region, I think, could come out and get to the Final Four.
I think the East is pretty easy. I think the other 3 are pretty much even. Maybe the Midwest is pretty tough, but I think the East is a little bit easier with Virginia, Villanova. Those 2 teams are definitely beatable. Iowa State's a pretty good team. They just won the Big 12 tournament, but definitely beatable too. I think that one's a little bit easier, but overall the committee did a very good job.
Now we'll have an updated On the Beat with our predictions in the next couple of days. But are there 1 or 2 teams that you guys really like coming in? You think they have a good draw? Think they'll do well?
Jim Boeheim singled out Michigan State and Louisville today. Those 2 teams look really good. They could definitely both make a run. I think Michigan State especially, they haven't been totally healthy all year, and they look good now that they're at full strength. Kansas is another team I really like if Joel Embiid gets healthy. Obviously a big if, but Andrew Wiggins, he's playing better than anyone else in the country right now, I think.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting with the number 4 seeds. Obviously, last year Syracuse was a number 4 seed and did make the Final Four. I think Louisville and Michigan State are both very capable of doing that. Both teams are hot right now, and I think that's key going into March. They're both playing really well, and I think Louisville, they beat Rutgers by 61 points. That does not happen at this point of the year. That's just ridiculous. And Michigan State beat Michigan today, who's been surging as well. So I think both those teams are really ones to look out for.
Yeah, I would agree. I like Michigan State a lot. I think we saw them get healthy toward the end of the year, and they still didn't win those last couple games. Yeah. We saw them in the tournament. They look a lot better.
They're gelling again, it looks like.
And maybe as complete a team.
They started the year, I believe it was number 2 in the country.
Yeah.
So, and the only team that was ahead of them is Kentucky, who's been a disappointment this year. So, in theory, they're the most talented team there is.
Bold prediction. I like it. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, you can follow us on Twitter @DOSports, and be sure to check dailyorange.com for coverage tonight.